Hello everyone. I hope my screen is visible right now.
Yes.
Okay, good. Right. So let's begin. Right. So before I begin for today, anyone has any queries, any questions? Anyone has any queries, any questions regarding what all I had shown yesterday, day before yesterday regarding the DMLs? No doubts, no queries. Everyone good?
No
Yes.
queries from my side.
Okay, that's great. Right. So now, then we'll just resume for this. Then I think it will just be a short day. Should not be anything. Fine. So before we move on to the next part, which I had mentioned, which is for the other two operations that we have, right, which is undelete and merge, right? I just wanted to confirm a few things regarding, so there are, I would say not confirm, more like guidelines or best practices which are applicable for the DML statements. When, like how for SOQL I mentioned, right, there are always some, template to follow, that okay, this is the kind of code structure you should follow to ensure that issues not happen. Now what are the ways we do that? We don't run queries in loop. हम लोग उसमें queries में filter डालते हैं, conditions डालते हैं ताकि record conditions properly आए. If we can combine a query, we'll probably combine a query, inner query डाल देंगे अंदर, child objects एक साथ fetch कर लेंगे या relationships से fetch. So those are the things we all can do, right? However, with DML, the scenario is completely different. Why? In DML, we are pushing data, right? So all the consideration in SQL was based on database में अभी क्या है, right? However, in DML, the logic is completely opposite, which is what? That we are now sending data. So what is the kind of data that can be sent properly, right? You guys can see the developer console, right?
Yes.
Right. Now, in this case, obviously, what is the most basic check we should be having कि हम अगर database में कुछ push कर रहे हैं, हमको क्या check करना चाहिए पहले? सबसे पहले, what is the, just go with logic. What is the logical thing you will be doing?
क्योंकि कि जो भी हम पुश कर रहे हैं उसमें डेटा है भी है कि नहीं. Shouldn't be like we are
Exactly.
inserting some empty list.
Exactly. So we should have checks always in place. Now, checks can be two. If it is a single record, then single record is not equals to null. Then only we'll say insert record, right? However, if it is a list of record, then size check कर लेंगे कि at least एक element हो list में, right? That is the thing we should always be checking. Now, other than this, let's say there can be some issues that is happening. कुछ हमारे लॉजिक में गड़बड़ हो ही सकता है जिसकी वजह से डेटाबेस में जाके फेल हो गया. लेट्स से हमने रिकॉर्ड इंसर्ट किया बट वैलिडेशन रूल हमारा फेल हो गया कुछ जिसकी वजह से रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट नहीं हुआ. So in that case, we will cover this more in depth, but for now I'll just give you the brief, which is what In most cases, when you are doing a DML, try to add it inside a try block like this. And add DML exception check like this. Now, what is a try catch block? What is an exception? Right? When we're doing exception handling, तब हम लोग इसको और डिटेल में हम पढ़ेंगे कि क्या होता है. But just for a reference, what is happening in this case is anything you put inside this try. Okay, you will write code inside this try block. Anything you write inside this try, that is a code that they will try to run. Okay, the code will try to be executed. Once it is executed, and if there is an error that comes, code में कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ, कोई validation rule fail हो गया, insert नहीं कर पाया, कुछ field में invalid value हो गया, any kind of issue that happens, it throws something called an exception. Okay, now exceptions can be of multiple types. Okay, there are a lot of types of exception. If you just write here exception, that means यहाँ पे कोई भी गड़बड़ हो तो वो फेल होके मेथड में एरर देने के बजाय वो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. Okay, and then you can handle it in a way you want, like maybe just log it somewhere. System.debug, an error has happened in line 16 method. Test demo method. So basically कोई एरर इनकेस आ जाता है तो आपको वो हैंडल करने के लिए you can use a try catch block. Any code inside try अगर वो फेल होगा तो वो उसके बाद वाले कैच में चला जाएगा, and then within the catch you can handle as per your requirement. Now why I am telling you this, this exception is the, you can think of like a parent exception. Okay, any all kinds of exception are basically childs to this exception. इसीलिए अगर आप ये स्पेसिफिक एक्सेप्शन लिख देते हैं तो यहाँ पे कुछ भी गड़बड़ हो, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे 1/0 लिखा होता तो क्या 1 can 1 be divided by 0? Can any number be divided by 0?
No.
No, right? So mathematically it is not possible. So in that case, in most cases what the code does is it throws something called an arithmetic exception कि आप जो mathematical operation करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, it is not correct. It throws an arithmetic exception of the type divide by 0. So that is also exception का type. In our case, the only reason we are just advancing a bit into what an exception is because you have to remember something. जब आप बाद में log देखेंगे, जब आपको error आएगा, by chance UI पे आ गया, कहीं और आ गया, there is an exception called DML exception. This exception happens when a DML statement fails. Either one of these 5. If they fail, they give you a DML exception. Okay. So just for this part. So DML आप कर रहे हैं, कोड में गड़बड़ हो ही सकता है, DML exception आ ही सकता है. So in most cases you will see handling for this. We will later on write more complex try catch blocks, but you have to remember for specific DML errors that can be thrown, a DML exception is a class that already exists and we can use it. Okay, till this part is fine. I'll keep this as it is. Now, delete का हमने देखा था. What if you want to recover this? When a record is get deleted, where it goes? It goes in the Salesforce recycle bin. Now in the Salesforce recycle bin, records stay for 30 days. Okay. Within the 30 days, you have a chance to get back the records you have deleted. There are 2 ways. एक तो है आप रिसाइकल बिन में जाओ, वहां पे जाके आप रिस्टोर पे क्लिक करो, रिकॉर्ड पे क्लिक करके रिस्टोर पे क्लिक करो, वापस आ जाएगा. सेम एज जो हम लोग अपने कंप्यूटर्स लैपटॉप्स पे करते हैं. हाउ वी रिमूव आइटम बैक फ्रॉम रिसाइकल बिन, रिस्टोर. द अदर वन इज अनडिलीट. तो व्हाट डज दिस डू? लेट्स से मैं एक क्वेरी चलाता हूं, तो मेरे कॉन्टेक्ट्स क्वेरी होंगे. ये क्वेरी रन होगा, डिलीट हो जाएंगे सारे. इफ आई रन दिस क्वेरी अगेन हियर, तो उसमें कुछ आएगा नहीं, नथिंग विल कम. बट देन pretty self-explanatory. If I run undelete, the records will again be put back into the database. Just simply जो delete हुआ है, जो आपने reference दिया है, वो वापस आ जाए. Is this clear? What is undelete?
So
Undelete का
just
purpose आपको clear हो?
so
Yes.
just with undelete keyword, just undelete wala keywords, everything is gonna come back.
Undelete is a DML command that returns records back from the recycle bin into the database. Now, there is one issue. Okay, there is one thing you have to consider, which is what? जब तक हम वेरिएबल में कुछ वैल्यू असाइन नहीं करते हैं, so what is that variable? It is an empty variable, it is a null variable, it does not have any value, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So then that would imply जैसे ही मैं करूंगा ये delete clist, तो clist variable will become what? null, empty, खाली हो जाएगा वेरिएबल, उसके अंदर कुछ है ही नहीं. जो रिकॉर्ड्स उसके अंदर थे, ये सारे रिकॉर्ड्स डिलीट हो गए, तो clist has become null. That means you cannot directly reference the list. It should be a list of contacts also undelete, but आपको उसमें वेरिएबल फिर से डालना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि एग्जिस्टिंग वाले तो डिलीट हो गए. So how do you do that? For that, you again need to run a query, but this time not in the database, instead in the recycle bin. How you run a query in the recycle bin? It is pretty simple. This will be deleted contacts. Okay. Same query I'll run, it will run normally, right? Is deleted equals to true, all rows. For any normal record, right? Let me go to a contact. Okay. You would modify. Is deleted is false, right? And I cannot in any way modify it. However, if I delete this, ये record मैंने ऐसे delete किया, तो ये close हो जाएगा, right? Now let's go to recycle bin. This is the record we created, right? Modified contact record 7. Let me run this query. Name है, right? ये पूरा. I'll run this query and
स्पेस देना है नीड एंड रो में, नेम एंड रो में स्पेस देना है.
right, nothing came. Why? Record delete हो चुका है. But as soon as I add and is deleted equals to true. Again nothing came. Now if I write already. Oh, what did I modify here? The name equals to contact and s rated equals to true. Wait. Why is it? Hmm. It's happening. Let me do using this. Why is it not taking it? Did I write something wrong here? Oh, I'm not sure what is happening. Why is it not taking the values? Your name is equal to ID name from contact, the name is equal to modified contact equal to 7, and is deleted equals to true. Oh, sorry. Right. So, yeah. For this one, previously this field was what? False. Now, as soon as the record got deleted, this is the only way this field will get marked as true. Okay. Now, once this gets marked as true, that is when you can use it to fetch records. Okay. So, very simple difference. If you don't check for is deleted, it will run as a normal query. As soon as you add is deleted equals to true, now it is searching in the recycle bin. Then you get the list and you undelete it. So logically think of it this way: when you are doing a normal DML operation, आप record variables पे काम कर रहे हैं, उनको insert, update, modify कर रहे हैं. So there should be some variable which should have those values. जो आपने इधर query करके लाया है या आपने खुद से कोड में बनाया है, right? Which you are planning to modify, delete, insert. Similarly, when you are trying to do an undelete, तब आपके पास record कहाँ से आना चाहिए? Recycle bin से. So there should be some logic to actually fetch records from recycle bin ताकि उनके ऊपर हम DML चला सकें. That is where this is deleted flag comes into the picture. Okay, is the undelete operation clear? Anyone has any doubts about what the undelete operation is?
सर क्लियर, बट वो आखिरी में जो ऑल रोज हम लिख रहे थे उसका क्या मोटिव होता है लिखने का, जो हमने हटा दिया लिख के?
All rows in SQL. Okay, so there are few, keywords which are added into the SQLs when you are fetching data from the recycle bin. So all rows, right? This is basically two keywords. That's why it showed an error when I combined them, right? You have to keep those separated. So the purpose of it means is when it is telling the server that normally any deleted records which are there, they are also in recycle bin put into different buckets. One that are scheduled to be deleted, like permanently deleted, and ones which have just been pushed into recycle bin. Right. So normally it can be 15 days, 20 days, and all those. There are limits for that within that. All rows is a keyword जो आप recycle bin में डालते हैं, जब आप query कर रहे हैं, that remains. It is checking for records which are deleted and also archived. This all rows वाला जो यहाँ पे जो flag है, the reason I was getting this error is this. If I select, that is automatically adding all rows here. अगर आप all rows नहीं add कर रहे हैं, तो it is not checking into the deleted and archived record also. Salesforce में you can also archive records. तो normal दिखेगा नहीं, kind of think of it like a storage में जहाँ पे डाल रखा है, right? So that is also something which can be done. So for that we use all rows. In most cases, you would not be using all rows. Okay. But all rows का purpose वही है. It is same as checking this one. That this query I am using to search in the normal database as well as within the deleted records. Okay.
ओके, अगर वो डिलीट हो रखा होगा तो यहाँ पे इज डिलीटेड इज इक्वल टू फॉल्स लिखेंगे तब भी वो रिजल्ट देगा, अगर वो डिलीट नहीं हुआ होगा तो।
Right.
ओके
Let's do one. So this is deleted, right? Let's. I'm not sure this extension is working properly, but यहाँ पे कुछ issue हो रहा है यहाँ पे. It is not taking this value. I think
सर,
must be
इट
some.
वाज वर्किंग अ मंथ अगो, आई यूज्ड दिस, ये, और मैंने आई हैड यूज्ड इट टुगेदर, इज डिलीटेड इज इक्वल टू ट्रू ऑल रोज, दैट टाइम इट वाज
Right.
वर्किंग, एंड दिस इज नॉट
Not,
वर्किंग these days now.
not sure what. Up. There must be some reason it is not working. कुछ तो होगा, देखना पड़ेगा एक बार. But same thing you can do with it. That's the same thing. But you should be doing anyway this. आप इस डिलीटेड का चेक लगा लेते हो तो ऑल रोज ना डालो तो भी चलेगा. ओके. कुछ एक्सटेंशन में कुछ इशू हुआ होगा. मे बी दे डिड अ पैच और अपडेट और समथिंग. Should be fine. No worries. So now, okay, this part is there. Other than that, any other questions regarding undelete? Anyone? No?
So,
Great. Then we come out to the last operation we have, which is account. Let's say account 1 is equal to new account and let me write name is equal to parent. Right, and I'll insert this. Just for showing you, I'm inserting separately. Ideally, it should not be happening. Okay. Account 2 is equal to new account name is equal to duplicate. Right. Now what I'll do is I'll insert account 2 also. So as of now, what is happening? 2 accounts are getting inserted, right? And the third line I'll write is merge account 1, account 2. Let me do one thing here. Accounts copy. I want some other field to set also. Let me just set another field. Details. Industry equals to apparel. Fine. अकाउंट 2 का मैंने क्या किया? इंडस्ट्री इज इक्वल्स टू apparel. Right. Fine. So as of now in this code what is happening? एक हमने अकाउंट क्रिएट किया है विद द नेम पेरेंट अकाउंट. दूसरा हमने अकाउंट इंसर्ट किया है विद द नेम डुप्लीकेट अकाउंट एंड इट आल्सो हैज द वैल्यू इंडस्ट्री इज इक्वल्स टू apparel. वो भी हमने अलग से इंसर्ट कर दिया है. Then I have just wrote merge account 1, account 2. What is missing here? What? Where am I missing this line? Oh, sorry. Right. Ideally, once this code runs, let's see what happens. Instance dot test demo method. What are the accounts currently in our system? Right, only the standard accounts, no other accounts are there. Let's execute. No exception happened, nothing, everything is fine. Let's go and check our account. Can I see what happened?
सर 7 तो पेरेंट अकाउंट करके आया.
Exactly. So 2 accounts we have created, but we can see only one account got created. Right. Now within this, if you see here, this got created and an account was merged into this one. Which account was merged? Duplicated. So in this case, 2 accounts were created, but then a merge happened and we ended up with which account? The one which is on the left. So this command means you have to merge account 2 into account 1. Okay. However, there is one issue that happens, which is what? Anyone can think what happened? क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? नो वन। जब हमने मर्ज किया तो ये अकाउंट से तो डेटा ये लिंक हो गया, बट देन व्हाट हैपेंड टू दिस डेटा? तो हम जिस अकाउंट में मर्ज कर रहे हैं उसका डेटा विल बी द फाइनल डेटा। द ऑपरेशन फॉर मर्ज इज बेसिकली, मर्ज ऑपरेशन का फिलोसॉफी है, दिस इज एन अकाउंट and this is a duplicate account we need to get rid of. समझ रहे हैं आप? In the Salesforce execution, whatever you have written as the second record, Salesforce is assuming this record does not need to exist. तो इसीलिए इस रिकॉर्ड से इस रिकॉर्ड पे कोई डेटा ट्रांसफर नहीं होगा, कोई वैल्यू कॉपी नहीं होगी। So then what does merge does? अगर वैल्यू ही कॉपी नहीं हुई तो merge ने क्या किया? Well, what merge does is, जो भी this is considered a duplicate of this account, which means there could be by mistake जो contacts इस account से link होने थे वो contact शायद इस account से link हो चुके हैं। So when you run the merge, all the related records, activities, tasks जो इसके साथ link थी, they will end up being linked to the primary and the duplicate will get deleted. Okay, so merge is used when you have two records which are duplicates. Now out of that you will have to identify जो आपको रखना है which is called the primary, and दूसरा जो आपको delete करना है which is called the duplicate record, and then you just write the command merge primary record name duplicate record name. As soon as you do this, duplicate record will get deleted, वहां से कोई डेटा प्राइमरी रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं कॉपी होगा, and any related records to that duplicate will get transferred to the primary account. Is the merge clear?
सर ये फिल्ट्रेशन के मुझे फिल्ट्रेशन के वास्ते कुछ हो सकता है सर? आई मीन डुप्लीकेट डेटा रहा तो उसमें से फिल्टर कर सकते हैं करके merge?
Exactly. So the merge ka use case is that if we do end up with duplicate records, duplicate data, redundant records, we should have some way to get rid of those. Okay, so that is why merge operation is there. Why merge is not used? Most because think of the custom object जो हमने बनाया था, हमने जो custom object बनाया था employee. So नाम सेम हो ही सकते हैं दो जन के, ठीक है, मे बी एड्रेस भी सेम हो सकता है, दो भाई एक ही कंपनी में काम कर रहे हैं, एक ही एड्रेस पे रहते हैं, एड्रेस भी सेम हो सकता है, नाम भी सेम हो सकता है, डेट ऑफ बर्थ सेम हो सकता है, राइट? तो you should have some unique identifier, which is what? Employee ID, email ID, right? Employee code. ये हम यूनिक बना के देते हैं कि we have to ensure this is unique. So what we do is on the field level only we make it unique. कि अगर मेरे पास दो एम्प्लॉय कोड्स हैं E001, E002, both are named Kunal. So the name is same, but I'll assume they are different. So using the fields, making field values unique. So there are a lot of ways to ensure that you can only create unique records. अगर आपके लिए ईमेल यूनिक होना चाहिए तो आप ईमेल फील्ड को यूनिक बनाएंगे, अगर आपके लिए कोड यूनिक होना चाहिए आप कोड यूनिक बनाओगे. So that is why in most cases you don't end up with redundant records unless there is some mistake in the implementation. If the implementation is correct, you should not end up with the situation. In case you do end up with this situation. That is when you do use merge. Now, there are multiple reasons why merge is preferred to be avoided. Think of it this way. हमारे पास गवर्नर लिमिट्स है सेल्सफोर्स में, डीएमएल का गवर्नर लिमिट्स है, एसओक्यूएल का गवर्नर लिमिट्स है. यस और नो?
यस सर.
नाउ थिंक ऑफ इट दिस वे. एक अकाउंट के साथ क्या क्या रिलेटेड ऑब्जेक्ट हो सकते हैं? अपॉर्चुनिटी, कॉन्टैक्ट, अपॉर्चुनिटी लाइन आइटम, ऑर्डर, ऑर्डर लाइन आइटम, प्रोडक्ट, इनवॉइस, 4-5 कस्टम ऑब्जेक्ट. एनी नंबर ऑफ रिलेशंस कैन बी देयर. कुछ में मास्टर डिटेल रहेगा अकाउंट के साथ, कुछ में रिलेशनशिप रहेगा अकाउंट के साथ, राइट? सो देयर कैन बी एनी नंबर ऑफ रिलेशंस. देन थिंक ऑफ इट दिस वे. उन सब के ऊपर वी मे एंड अप हैविंग एपेक्स ट्रिगर, जहां पे फिर से अलग से क्वेरी हो रही हो, कॉल हो रहा हो, कोड चल रहा हो, राइट? तो कुछ और अपडेट हो रहा हो, डीमेल अपडेट हो रहा हो. ऑल दिस थिंग्स कैन हैपन. सो व्हेन यू मर्ज टू रिकॉर्ड्स, राइट, यू आर आल्सो डिलीटिंग, यू आर आल्सो अपडेटिंग समथिंग. उसके बाद उसके रिलेटेड में जाके आप अपडेट करेंगे. सो there is no guarantee how many SQLs will run, how many DMLs will run, how many code will run, क्या क्या execution होगा, maybe कुछ integration भी चल जाए, right? You never know. Or it is maybe if you analyze completely, you may know, but it is very hard to manage and control, right? Because for every record, it's not like आप बोल सकते हो कोड में इतनी बार चल रहा है. कहीं एक जगह लूप लगा हुआ है, किसी एक अकाउंट के 2 ही थे, किसी एक अकाउंट के 6 हो गए, किसी एक अकाउंट के 150 हो गए. तो that is why merge is an operation which can lead to like unforeseen issues, like unplanned issues rather. That is why we avoid doing merge unless absolutely necessary. But the way is there. Okay, is this clear? Why merge is there, but it is not used that much?
Yes sir.
Right. Now, ये तो चलो हमारे पास हो गए 5 डायरेक्ट डीएमएल स्टेटमेंट, राइट? However, you had last asked me, Wasim, that if something fails, everything is rollback, right?
Yes sir.
So why don't we have something for partial update, partial operations? So we do have something for partial, but it is just not incorporated directly into these commands. Now, merge तो खाली 2 रिकॉर्ड पे चलता है, तो merge either fail होगा या successful होगा. So there is no option of partial for this. Merge cannot run on a list. लिस्ट में हमारे चल सकते हैं कौन कौन से? इंसर्ट, अपडेट, अपसेट, डिलीट, राइट? उस अनडिलीट भी, तो ये हमारे लिस्ट पे चल सकते हैं. सो देयर इज अ स्कोप कि हाँ पार्शियल हो तो ये चलाना चाहिए. सो फॉर दैट ओनली वी हैव 5 methods, which is, remember the D is capital because this is a class. Okay, database dot insert, right? Database dot update, database dot delete, database dot undelete, and what is the 5th one? Which one I wrote? Upsert. Database dot upsert. ये हमारे पास 5 मेथड हैं which do the same thing that we are doing here. Okay, I'll uncomment this code again. So ये हमारे पास delete clist था, इसकी जगह अगर मैं लिख देता हूँ database dot delete clist, this is exactly same. खाली delete clist लिखना और database dot delete clist लिखना is exactly same. This also does not let you do a partial. This is also a full. Okay, but this class does have an option of allowing you for partial, which is ये delete method के 2 वेरिएंट हैं. Okay, one variant is delete with list of records, right? This runs as normal delete. And another version is delete with list of records and a Boolean variable, which is called all or none. अगर आप खाली ये वाला कॉल करते हैं, which is you just pass this parameter, so that means ये boolean variable का एक default value है true. That is assumed कि आपने कुछ pass नहीं किया, it will assume all or none is true. All or none is true means वो कोड को बता रहा है either you do the operation on all records or you do it for no records. So that is why without the second parameter, it is same as a normal delete. However, if you just write here false, then this second method will get called. जहां पे क्या होगा 100 रिकॉर्ड है बट ऑल और नन हमने सेट कर दिया फॉल्स विच मीन्स अगर 90 हो गए तो 90 हो गए 10 फेल हो जाएंगे. The same method exists for undelete also. Database.undelete and again list. If I just write as it is, that means it works same as normal undelete. However, as soon as I write it as undelete, तो जिनको रिकवर कर पाया करेगा, नहीं रिकवर कर पाएगा वो रिसाइकल बिन में रह जाएंगे. So this database methods let you do partial DML, which normal DML statements do not let you do. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone else, is this clear or not clear?
Clear.
Anyone has any questions, any doubts, any queries? Anyone? No? Now, with the normal DML, either सारे हो रहे थे या नहीं हो रहे थे, right? Either all were happening or they were not happening. Yes or no? However,
Yes.
with partial, we end up with a situation, maybe some will happen, maybe some will not happen. तो अब हमको कैसे पता चलेगा कौन से हुए कौन से नहीं हुए? How will we know that? Anyone? उसके लिए हमको क्या चाहिए होगा? We need something, right?
Yeah, DML extension. Sorry, sir. Background.
No, no. See, DML एक्सेप्शन नहीं होगा क्योंकि ऑपरेशन तो हुआ, अपडेट तो हुए, 100 तो हो गए, right? So for this, what we have is another method in this class, right? In this class, we have another method, which is database dot save result, right? This is a type of array जो हम बनाएंगे. So any database operation वो आपको क्या देता है? It returns you an array. What is inside this array? So this array of is the type database.saveResult, and inside this each element is actually a record and its status. Okay, each element is a record and its status. How? इस array पे अगर मैं for loop चलाता हूँ बाद में, for, so the type of the loop will be database save result sr in result cell. I can check sr dot is success. Right, and if I add the not condition, it lets me check the error. Now I can write here, let's say हम contact कर रहे थे, right? So if I write here, if not er dot is success, system dot debug failed to delete the following contact. What is the contact here? How do I get the contact? कैसे आएगा?
Rear से
Sorry?
sir
list.
SR से
Sir, you wrote wrong, sir. Instead of SR. you wrote-
SR ER हो
if
गया ना
statement.
if में.
Oh, sorry. This is a sir. Sorry, this is a sir. Right. Now, यहाँ पे मेरे पास कैसे आएगा? How do I know which record is which? कैसे पता चलेगा मेरे पास? अगर मेरा ये insert होता तो मेरे पास ID तो है नहीं. So that is why they do a very simple logic. I'll add the logic here actually. Okay, which is think of as my list as this. तो लिस्ट पे मेरे पास सबसे पहले लेट्स से C1 कॉन्टैक्ट था, फिर C2 कॉन्टैक्ट हो गया, C3 कॉन्टैक्ट हो गया एंड C4 कॉन्टैक्ट हो गया. तो मेरा लिस्ट का 0th इंडेक्स पे क्या है? C1, C2, C3, C4. सेव रिजल्ट जो मेरा एरे आएगा, राइट, सेव रिजल्ट जो मेरा एरे आएगा, दैट विल आल्सो हैव एट द सेम इंडेक्स सक्सेस, error, success, success. This is the structure. So which is why I will have to modify this loop into for integer I equals to 0, I is less than results dot size and I plus plus. Here I'll write database dot save result sr is equals to results ka I and contact record which it is meaning is C list ka I. Okay. So that means this will be contact.
Sir, wouldn't it be just a little bit more complex? We can directly iterate over all the records through for each loop.
नहीं, बट तुमको इंडेक्स कैसे मिलेगा?
Okay.
ये
सर इंडेक्स
चाहिए
लाना
ना
ही क्यों है?
अगर मेरे को यहाँ पे ये रिकॉर्ड प्रिंट करना है, अगर मुझे रिकॉर्ड प्रिंट नहीं करना होता, right, I need to check which contact record. Okay, let's do one thing. if I had added a for each loop, right? That
कि
for
जो
each,
उसका इंस्टेंस था, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल
right?
हमने डेटाबेस
Hold on.
डॉट सेव रिजल्ट एसआर लिखा था,
हाँ, right.
डायरेक्टली हम
Save
नीचे
result.
अगर एसआर डॉट सक्सेस है तो एसआर को सिस्टम डॉट डिबग कर सकते हैं.
SR is this the error status. SR आपको देगा सक्सेस हुआ है, एरर हुआ है, बट कौन से रिकॉर्ड का सक्सेस से एरर हुआ है, हाउ विल यू नो? SR के अंदर रिकॉर्ड नहीं है. सी, व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू? SR is just an array of status. Okay, if it was like this way, that say C1 equals to success, right? C2 equals to error, but that is not what is here. यहाँ पे खाली एक array है जिसका first element is success, second is error, third is success, fourth is success. So what is this fourth element referring to? C1 का वैल्यू आपको कहाँ से मिलेगा? ये तो यहाँ पे सेव ही नहीं है, वो तो आपका ओरिजिनल लिस्ट में सेव्ड है.
सर सो डेटाबेस डॉट रिजल्ट, ये सेव रिजल्ट जो है, इज इट एन एरे ऑफ बुलियन टाइप?
No, it is save result is the specific type. Okay, sure. Right, it can get you the error, right? It can get you the ID, it can get you the is success. वो ऑब्जेक्ट यहाँ पे नहीं है जिसका स्टेटस ये है. दिस इज द स्टेटस ऑफ अ रिकॉर्ड बट नॉट द रिकॉर्ड. ओके,
ओके,
तो यू मीन टू से कौन से इंडेक्स पे एरर हुआ है, कौन से इंडेक्स पे सक्सेस हुआ है, ऐसा ट्रेडिशनल फॉर लूप डालने से मालूम
एग्जैक्टली
होगा
वो
ना?
इंडेक्स पे ही सेव हुआ है कि 0th इंडेक्स पे सक्सेस हुआ है, फर्स्ट इंडेक्स पे एरर हुआ है, सेकंड इंडेक्स पे सक्सेस हुआ है, फोर्थ इंडेक्स पे एरर हुआ है. दैट इज हाउ इट विल गो. अब एक्चुअल लिस्ट में फोर्थ इंडेक्स पे क्या था, हाउ डू यू नो? उसके लिए आपको तो इंडेक्स चाहिए. नाउ there is, if this is not an insert operation or a delete operation, okay, then just for update operation you can use another method which is the get id. Okay, this id you can use. Why we don't use the id, instead we go with an array? Think of it this way. अगर मेरा ये इंसर्ट में फेल हुआ है तो मतलब इस रिकॉर्ड पे तो कुछ आईडी था ही नहीं, इंसर्ट तो हुआ ही नहीं, राइट? So if for this save result I try to run the get id instead of his success, तो मेरे पास आ जाएगा null, right? id है ही नहीं. सिमिलरली जब रिकॉर्ड डिलीट हो जाते हैं उस टाइम पे भी उनके आईडीज हट जाते हैं. सो देन डिलीटेड रिकॉर्ड में भी जब आप आईडी लाने की कोशिश करोगे इट विल अगेन रिटर्न यू null. So that is why we do have a method of get id, but that is since applicable in update only trustfully. So we instead go, क्योंकि हमको पता है कि एक हमारा लिस्ट है जिसमें 10 रिकॉर्ड है, तो हमारा सेव रिजल्ट विल आल्सो बी अ लिस्ट ऑफ 10 रिकॉर्ड्स and each of those will just be the status of the corresponding record. So that is why we use the incremental loop here instead of the for each loop. Okay, it is safer to use this, less chance of get id में exception आ गया, नहीं चला. और फॉर ईच लूप से तो आपको इंडेक्स मिलेगा ही नहीं, फिर आप इंडेक्स कैसे बनाओगे? फिर आपको वो अलग से फॉर ईच डाल के भी इंडेक्स के लिए एक इंटीजर बनाना पड़ेगा, हर बार वैल्यू अपडेट करना पड़ेगा. सो इट्स द सेम थिंग. सो देन व्हाई नॉट जस्ट राइट अ फॉर लूप? ओके,
नॉट ओके सर, मेरे को समझ नहीं आया. इफ यू कुड जस्ट एक्सप्लेन दिस डेटाबेस डॉट से सेव रिजल्ट वाला वो अगेन. I understood कि database dot delete जो है ये it's database dot delete C list false. This function is returning something that is of the type database dot save result.
राइट
उसका ऑब्जेक्ट बना के वी आर आइटरेटिंग ओवर इट, बट मुझको ये नहीं समझ आ रहा कि डेटाबेस डॉट सेव रिजल्ट जो है व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डेटा इज इट स्टोरिंग?
इट इज जस्ट स्टोरिंग द स्टेटस सक्सेस और एरर
ओके, सक्सेस
think
और
of it
एरर.
this way C list has 100 records. Okay, C list has 10 records, right? So C list का पहला record we were able to successfully delete. So then save result का first record will be what? Success. That is all.
ओके
Okay. Second,
ओके
we failed to delete. So save result का second will just be error. Okay, so that is how. So that is why we know कि index to index mapping हो रहा है. मेन लिस्ट के इंडेक्स पे जो ऑपरेशन का स्टेटस है वो हमने सेव रिजल्ट के उस इंडेक्स पे डाल दिया.
ओके
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 थिंक इट थ्रू. देखो, सी लिस्ट इज अवर लिस्ट ऑफ एक्चुअल रिकॉर्ड्स जिन पे ऑपरेशन हो रहा है, एंड द सेव रिजल्ट विल बी जस्ट अ लिस्ट ऑफ व्हाट इज द स्टेटस ऑफ ईच ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड्स. ओके, तो आप अगर 1000 का लिस्ट करोगे तो आपका आउटपुट विल बी आल्सो 1000, an array of 1000 elements, success error, success error, success, then one error, then again success, then error. Okay,
राइट.
तो वो क्योंकि इंडेक्स वाइज मैपिंग है, दैट इज व्हाई वी राइट अ फॉर लूप विद द इंडेक्स, ताकि डायरेक्टली वी कैन रेफर कि रिजल्ट का 0th इंडेक्स इज द स्टेटस ऑफ सी लिस्ट का 0th इंडेक्स. ओके,
राइट, और अगर वो
रिजल्ट
ट्रू और फॉल्स है तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग उसके इंडेक्स का लिस्ट का डेटा आउटपुट करा रहे हो?
ये ट्रू और फॉल्स
नहीं नहीं सर,
नहीं,
मतलब
ये
ऐसा. हाँ.
सक्सेस ट्रू
if-
और फॉल्स है. हाँ, यस, इस सक्सेस ट्रू और फॉल्स है, उसके बेसिस पे विल नो. सक्सेस ट्रू
मतलब
है मतलब वो ऑपरेशन सक्सेसफुल हुआ फॉर दैट स्पेसिफिक एलिमेंट इन सी लिस्ट. जिसका इस सक्सेस फॉल्स है तो मतलब दैट वन फेल्ड.
अंडरस्टूड नाउ सर. ठीक.
राइट. So what I'll do is, hold on, who is joining now? Okay, so I'll share you this class. Okay, and I want you to please do these classes as quickly as possible, because hopefully by tonight or tomorrow morning I'll be sharing an assignment for this. Hold on, where is the database class? This is the save result class. I need the database class. And our DML operations. Okay. When people are referring to DML operations or DML statements, that means insert, update, delete, normal one word keyword wale jo hai. When people are mentioning DML methods, that means हमारे database.insert, database.update, those one. Okay. So this, I would say, takes care of the DML. Right. SQL already we have completed. So what I'll be sharing is a sample assignment of an Apex class, which will have multiple methods where you are querying records, doing some modification, and also committing them back to database. And your purpose will be to write those classes and check in your system if the records did get updated, did get deleted, did get inserted. Okay, तो वो आपको check करने हैं. Along with that, for partial updates also, I'll provide you the scenario. In our case, for partial update हम लोग क्या करेंगे? I'll just give you a brief. What should be the approach for that? आपको चाहिए कुछ record success हो, कुछ record fail हो. So what we'll do is we'll create a validation rule, and जब हम insert कर रहे हैं, we'll make sure some records do satisfy that validation rule कि उनमें error throw हो जाए. So we will know for sure वो हो रहे हैं, and then you will have to debug कि जो fail हुए वो कौन से उनको output करो, जो success हुए वो कौन से उनको output करो, right? So I'll share an assignment for that, but before that, I wanted to make sure you go through all these three documents completely in detail so that you have everything clear for this. SOQL, I am assuming, is already clear. So this is more about the DML part should also be wrapped. Okay.
सर वो एग्रीगेट और ग्रुप बाय हमने उसमें नहीं पढ़ा अभी, तो इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट टू डू और कैन वी स्किप इट?
No, no. Aggregate and group by is something which is not that important, but I'll do that when I'm sharing the solution for that assignment. I'll show that to you. Nothing much there.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Great then. I think that should be enough. Right. So please go through this documentation. Please practice these GML statements by yourself. Go through the recording and the assignment I'll share. I'll expect that. So today is what, Wednesday, right? So I'll share it today or tomorrow morning, but I'll give you guys some time. I'll expect this to be completed by Friday or Saturday at the earliest. So please, once you get it, make sure you do work on it. Try to solve it by yourself. If any of you do face any issues, I am sure why you guys don't communicate in that WhatsApp group. आप लोगों का टेक्निकल डाउट्स आप लोग उस व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे शेयर कर सकते हो. If anyone has any doubts, any queries, or rather I would suggest एक दूसरे के साथ भी शेयर करो. Right? Who is working on what is happening if you guys want to understand. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I want to ask something related to, I was trying to do something different, something related to sending emails through Apex.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Sir, I was trying to do something different, as in I was trying to do something which would help me send emails through Apex. So
Yes.
in that also, may I share the screen to explain it better?
Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Is it now?
Yeah, I can see your screen now.
Sir, similar to what we have just done, as in, as if I've fired a method which sends an email, okay, which
Right.
returns, whose return type is a list of this,
Right.
okay.
Messaging to email result. Yes.
Yeah, into this we are iterating the same thing that we were trying to do there.
Right.
The difference is there was there was an error. Here it is not an array.
No, here also this is a list, right? So list array is interchangeable. That is fine.
Okay, through this I was able to, there was a method into this which was letting me fetch the error for the emails that were not
Right.
sent successfully, and I was system.debugging it.
Right.
So what is the major difference between this and that?
Okay. So when you are running the database.update, okay,
Yeah,
and you are getting the database.save result,
right.
It can work for case, it can work for account, it can work for employee, contact. That same method works for all the objects, right?
Right.
Now, the database.save result also, does it know which operation it has to save the result of initially? It is not a save update result or save insert result or a save delete result, right? It is a more generic, just save result. For all operations, it is supposed to work, right?
Okay.
That is why if it is a delete, then it should not allow us to save the record in the say, database because the record is getting deleted. Then why you would be again saving it in a variable? It will become
Right.
null, right? If it is an insert, then you won't have the ID if it is failing.
Yes.
So then again, you can't have a generic method for that. So that is why, because it is a more generic method defined to work with all objects. It does not have the specific structure in place जहाँ पे आप ज़्यादा details save कर सकते आप ज़्यादा details तभी save कर पाओगे जब you know okay this is only meant for specific. Messaging.send email result is a class meant for email. It knows it is supposed to send email results. The only thing that will send email result is when you are sending an email, right? So that is
Yes.
why, because you're sending an email, its purpose is very specific. It knows what object it has to work with. It knows which record I have to work with. That is why इसके जो send email result है, इसी के अंदर record save करने का logic भी है, क्योंकि उसको पता है record save हो रहा है तो that is a variable, right? ये जो आप error print कर रहे हो, that is in variable of which type? Email error,
Right.
right? But in save result, how many variables you will create? Account error, contact error, object error. जब custom object create हो जाएंगे तब उसके लिए भी are you creating that modifying that class?
उसमें तो नहीं कर पाएंगे सर.
Exactly. So that is why they didn't keep it there. You provide functionality when you know it will definitely work. Messaging.send email result is a custom class जिसका purpose ही खाली है email message send होते वक्त आप लॉक करो. तो
Right.
इसीलिए उसके अंदर email message store करने के लिए भी डेटा है.
So can I understand it this way, sir? जैसे हमारा, for example, let's suppose there was some email that was failed. Okay, so here
Right,
it is just getting me the error, but it is not getting me the exact email.
right.
So can we correlate into that scenario in which we have got to know that some record was failed to be inserted? So it can only tell me if it was failed or a success, but it cannot tell me
Just
the exact data. So for that data, we have created a bridge so that we can map the index with
compare
the
the data along with its status.
right, and through that we can get the exact data because we have
Exactly.
created a bridge with the index.
Right.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
No issues. No issues. Questions are always welcome. Great. I think that's great. So please just keep practicing, keep going through code. Do if like this you are practicing by yourself, that's obviously always good. Any chance you get, keep doing